This is Revii, the fourth reading of our weekly Torah portion of Vayeshev. It is in Genesis chapter 38, verse 1 through 30. It's the whole chapter 38. Starting from verse 1. Vayehi be'et hahi, vayered Yehuda me'et achiv, vayet ad ish adulami, ushmo chira. Now it came about at that time that Judah was demoted by his brothers, and he turned away until he came to an Adulamite man named Chira. Vayar sham Yehuda bat ish Knaani ushmo Shua. Vayikachea vayavo eleha. And Judah saw the daughter of a merchant named Shua, and he took her and he came to her. Vatahar vateled ben vayikra et shemo Er. And she conceived and she bore a son, and he named him Er. Vatahar od vateled ben vatikra et shemo Onan. And she conceived again and bore a son, and she named him Onan. Vatosef od vateled ben vatikra et shemo Shelah, v'haya bichziv belidita oto. Once again she bore a son, and she named him Shelah, and he was in Chaziv when she gave birth to him. Vayikach Yehuda isha le'er bechoro ushema Tamar. And Judah took a wife for Er, his firstborn, named Tamar. Vayehi Er bechor Yehuda ra be'enei Adonai, vayamiteu Adonai. Now Er, Judah's firstborn, was evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord put him to death. Vayomer Yehuda le'onan bo el eshet achicha v'yabem ota v'yakem zera le'achicha. So Judah said to Onan, "Come to your brother's wife, and perform the rite of the leveret, and raise up progeny for your brother." Vayeda Onan ki lo yeh hazara v'haya im ba el eshet achiv v'shichet arza libilti natan zera le'achiv. Now Onan knew that the progeny would not be his, and it came about when he came to his brother's wife, he wasted it on the ground, in order not to give seed to his brother. Vayera be'enei Adonai asher asa, vayamat gam oto. Now what he did was evil in the sight of the Lord, and he put him to death also. Vayomer Yehuda leTamar kalato, shvi almana bet avich, ad yigdal Shelah beni, ki amar pen yamut gam hu ke'achiv, vateled Tamar vateshev bet aviha. Then Judah said to his daughter-in-law Tamar, "Remain as a widow in your father's house until my son Shelah grows up," for he said, "Lest he too die like his brothers." So Tamar went, and she remained in her father's house. Vayirbu yamim vatamat bat Shua eshet Yehuda, vayinachem Yehuda vaya'al al gozezet tzono hu v'chira re'ehu ha'adolami timnata. Many days passed, and Shua's daughter, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was consoled. And he went up to watch over his sheep shearers, and he and Hira, his Adulamite friend, to Timnah. Vayugad leTamar lemor, hine chamich ole, Timnata legoz tzono. And it was told to Tamar, saying, Behold, your father-in-law is going up to Timnah to share his sheep. Vataser bigdei almanuta. Vatasar bigdei almanuta me'aleha. ותכעס בצעיף ותתעלה ותשב בפתח עיניים אשר על דרך תמנעתה כי ראתה כי גדל שלה והיא לא ניתנה לו לאישה. So she took off her widow's garb, covered her head with a veil, and covered her face, and she sat down at the crossroads that were on the way to Timnah, for she saw that Shelah had grown up, but as for her she was not given to him for a wife. ויראה יהודה ויחשביה לזונה כי כיסתה פניה. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a harlot, because she covered her face. ויית אליה אל הדרך ויאמר הבה נא אבוא אלייך כי לא ידע כי כלתו היא. ותאמר מה תיתן לי כי תבוא אליי. So he turned aside toward her to the road, and he said, Get ready now, I will come to you. For he did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What will you give me that you should come to me? Vayomer anochi ashaleach, gedi izim min hatzon, v'tomer im titen aravon ad shalchecha. And he said, I will send a kid from the herd. And she said, Only if you give me a pledge until you send it. Vayomer ma aravon asher eten lach, v'tomer chotamcha upetilecha umatcha asher biyadecha vayhila vayavo elea vatahar lo. So he said, What is the pledge that I should give you? And she said, Your signet, your cloak, and the staff that is in your hand. So he gave them to her, and he came to her, and she conceived in his likeness. ותקם ותלך ותסר צעיפה מעליה ותלבש בגדי אלמנותה. Then she arose and went away, and she took off her veil, and she donned her widow's garb. וישלח יהודה את גדי העזים ביד רעהו האדולמי לקחת הערבון מיד האישה ולא מצא. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his Adulamite friend to take the pledge from the woman's hand, but he did not find her. וישאל את אנשי מקומה לאמור, איה הקדשה היא בעיניים על הדרך, ויאמרו לא הייתה בזה קדשה. So he asked the people of the place, saying, Where is the harlot who was at the crossroads on the way? And they said, No harlot was here. Vayeshev el Yehuda v'yomer lo מצאתיה. וגם אנשי המקום אמרו לא הייתה בזה קדשה. So he returned to Judah, and he said, I have not found her. And the people of the place also said, No harlot was here. ויאמר יהודה תיקח לה פן יהיה לבוז. הנה שלחתי הגדי הזה, ואתה לא מצאת. So Judah said, Let her take them for herself, lest we become a laughingstock. Behold, I sent this kid, but you did not find her. ויהי כי משלוש חודשים ויוגד ליהודה לאמור, זנתה תמר כלתך, וגם היא נהרה לזנונים. ויאמר יהודה הוציאוה ותשרף. Now it came about, after nearly 3 months, that it was told to Judah, saying, Your daughter-in-law Tamar has played the harlot, and behold, she is pregnant from harlotry. So Judah said, Bring her out, and let her be burned. היא מוצאת, והיא שלחה אל חמיה לאמור לאיש, אשר אלה, לא אנוכי הרע. ותאמר, הכר נא למי החותמת והפתילים והמטה האלה. She was taken out, and she sent to her father-in-law, saying, "From the man to whom these belong, I am pregnant." And she said, "Please recognize whose signet ring, cloak, and staff are these." Vayaker Yehuda, Vayomer Tzadka mimeni, ki al ken lo netatia l'sheila beni, v'lo yasaf od lidata. Then Judah recognized them, and he said, "She is right. It is from me, because I did not give her to my son Shelah." But he no longer continued to be intimate with her. Vayehi be'et lidita v'hine te'omim bevitna. And it came about the time she was giving birth, behold, there were twins in her womb. Vayehi be'lidita v'yiten yad, v'tikach ha'mayaledet, v'tikshor al yado shani lemor ze yatsa rishona. And it came about when she gave birth that the infant stretched out, that he stretched out his hand. So the midwife took and bound a crimson thread on his hand, saying, "This one came out first." Vayehi k'meishiv yado v'hine yatsa achiv. V'tomer ma paratzta lecha paretz vayikra shemo paretz. And it came about, as he was drawing back his hand, behold, his brother emerged. And she said, "With what strength you have strengthened yourself." And Judah named him Peretz. Ve'achar yatsa achiv, asher al yado hashani, vayikra shemo Zarah. Afterwards his brother emerged, the one upon whose hand was the crimson thread, and he named him Zerah. It's kind of unclear who came out first, because it says someone came out first and she bound it, and then when he pulled it back, then his brother came, and then afterwards his brother came. So it's a little ambiguous.